Dear student, I am starting your lecture 22nd on an oscillator. Last time we have seen the two oscillator. One is RC phase oscillator and Wien bridge oscillator. Today we will see Hartley oscillator. It is a LC oscillator circuit. In last lecture we have discussed RC oscillator, last two lecture. Now today we will discuss about the LC oscillator. In LC oscillator first we will discuss about the Hartley oscillator. In this lecture we will see the working of the Hartley oscillator and its analysis. Analysis means the equation of the frequency of the oscillation and the condition to sustain the oscillation. See, the circuit diagram of the Hartley oscillator is shown in figures. This is your radio frequency coil, or it is called radio frequency choke, and it is connected to the collectors. This is resistor R1 for biasing to the transistors. This is resistor R2 for the biasing of the transistors. This is your parallel combination of RE and CE provides self bias. This is a ground. Here inductor L1 is connected. Here inductor L2, it is a part of the tank circuit. This is your tank circuit, you already know. Tank circuit is the parallel combination of inductor and capacitor. So from the collectors we are connecting to the tank circuit, and this is we are connecting to the base. These are coupling capacitors. Here we have given supply voltage. This is a variable capacitor which vary the frequency of oscillation. Let me give you some number. This is 3, this is your 1, this is your 2. Listen. The circuit diagram of Hartley oscillator is as shown in figure. Here RFC is a radio frequency choke, or it is called radio frequency coil, which offer a very high impedance to the frequency of oscillation. Now RC phase and Wien bridge oscillator cannot produce the frequency of the order of 10 MHz and 50 MHz. Means the RC phase oscillator and Wien bridge oscillator can able to produce the low frequency. Whenever you want to produce the high frequency of the order of 5 MHz, 10 MHz, 50 MHz, then LC oscillator are used. And in LC oscillator we are discussing first Hartley oscillator. So Hartley oscillator can able to produce the frequency of the order of megahertz. So in Hartley oscillator, the resistor R1 and R2 provides voltage divider bias. R is for the stability of the circuit. DC, it provides the DC stabilization against the variation of temperature. This combination is known as a self bias. The tank circuit consists of inductor L1, L2 and capacitor C. You know already the tank circuit. Just for your understanding, I am giving you the in a 12th standard you studied, this is capacitor and inductor is connected parallel to each other. With the help of this key, the capacitor will be charged. As this get fully charged, remove this key, means remove the battery, then this charge will oscillate, this charge will oscillate in this circuit. As a result, you can get the variation of voltage and current, and this is called oscillation of the charge through the inductor between the two plates, produce the sinusoidal waveform. Oscillation of this charge between the two plates through the inductor produce the sinusoidal waveform. So, and already you have seen the one energy is converted in the electrostatic energy, is converted in the electromagnetic energy, and electromagnetic energy is converted into the electrostatic energy, and both are changing in a periodic manner. So you have voltage across this capacitor, and in the current passing through the inductor is changing in a periodic manner. As a result, sinusoidal waveform is produced. This is already you have studied in a lower standard, in a 12th standard. Now, let us discuss about the circuit diagram. So already I told you, R1, R2 provide the voltage divider bias, RE and CE provide the self bias. This is the coupling capacitors. This is your coupling capacitors. VCC is connected to radio frequency choke. This is used to prevent the large value of the AC current at resonance frequency reaching to the power supply. Due to this AC current does not going toward the VCC, because reason is that you know the radio frequency choke as a reactance is J omega L. So your frequency is high. When the high frequency is produced, omega is high. So this reactance offered by RFC is very high. So this AC current cannot reach to the power supply. Otherwise, the power supply may be damaged. So this prevent the power supply for getting short circuiting from the high value of the AC current coming from the collector. Now, the parallel resonance circuit consisting of inductor L1, L2 and capacitors. It is called tank circuit. Now let us see how the positive feedback is obtained. See, the common emitter, this common emitter provides you 180 degree phase shift. This common emitter will provide the 180 degree phase shift. The output at the collector is given to the tank circuit through the coupling capacitor, through this coupling circuit you are giving here. And the voltage developed at the collector and ground is called output voltage. So voltage developed across L2 is also called output voltage. You can say it is your output voltage is developed here. So now see here, the voltage developed across L1 is called feedback voltage because this is your ground. So through this terminal you are giving the voltage to the base. So you can say this is your feedback voltage. Now come back to this discussion. Common emitter provides a 180 degree phase shift. Common emitter amplifier provides 180 degree phase shift. Now this signal is coming to the parallel tank, parallel combination of L1 and L2 and capacitor C. Suppose at some time the terminal number 1 is positive with respect to 3, then at the same time the terminal 2 will be nothing but the negative with respect to terminal 3. Listen again. Suppose at some time the terminal number 1 is positive with respect to 3. 3 is a ground potential, it is at 0 potential. So with respect to this is positive, then at the same instant the terminal 2 will be negative with respect to 3. Again listen. When power supply switch is on, then transient current is produced in a inductor, and due to mutual inductance transient current is produced into the L2. Due to mutual inductance the oscillation, or you can say voltage is developed across L1. Due to mutual inductance of these two, this is developed across L1. Suppose at some time the point 1 is positive with respect to 3. 3 is a grounded, so 0 potential. Then at the same time 2 is negative with respect to 3. This is just like center tap transformer. You know center tap transformer. You use center tap transformer in a full wave rectifier circuit, and you drawn such kind of the diagram, you must have remember. It means when this is positive with respect to this, at the same time this terminal is negative with respect to this. Listen again. This is nothing but the similar to this. It is the same. This is a ground potential. This is that terminal. This terminal is here. When upper terminal is positive with respect to the center tap, at the same time this will be lower terminal will be negative with respect to this. So you can say there is a 180 phase shift between these two signals. Similar way, when terminal 1 is positive with respect to the ground, at the same time terminal 2 is nothing but the negative with respect to the ground, means terminal 3. So the voltage developed across L2 and L1 having a 180 degree phase shift. So in this way the tank circuit introduced 180 degree phase shift. 180 degree phase shift is introduced by common emitter amplifier, this is amplifier circuit, and 180 degree phase shift is introduced by the tank circuit. As a result, total phase shift is 360 degrees obtained, or you can say 0. So there is a 0 phase shift between the feedback voltage and VI voltage. Hence, condition of the positive feedback is obtained. Total phase shift is required 0 degree or 360 degree. So you can see here the transistor itself produces a 180 degree. The parallel resonance circuit also, or tank circuit also produces a 180 degree. The voltage across L2 and voltage across L1 having a 180 degree phase shift. So this is nothing but this voltage, VO voltage. So VO voltage and V feedback voltage having a 180 degree. So total will be 180 plus 180. Total will be our 360 or 0 phase shift. Hence, condition of the positive feedback is obtained. Circuit will produce the sustained oscillation. Two conditions is required. First condition is first condition positive feedback, and second the loop gain should be real. Loop gain should be real. Loop gain means KAV is equal to 1. There should not be any imaginary part in this equation, or any equation of gain, you can say anything. So this is I will discuss about the working of the circuit, how the 360 degree phase shift is obtained. Now let us do the analysis. Let us do the analysis of the circuit. Now you can see the voltage is developed across this. Voltage developed across VO. So you know the load is always known as a component across which output voltage is developed. So I am showing you certain circuit. Look here, it is very useful for the analysis. Now I am showing the equivalent circuit of this. So look here, for this equivalent circuit I am showing you, this is your inductor L1. Let me say it is Z1 now. This is your Z2. This is your Z3. It is, you can see here, it is between the base and ground. So I can say here it is your input resistance I have to consider of the transistor. I am writing HIE. I am showing the equivalent circuit of this Hartley oscillator. This is your ground potential. Z2 I am showing you here. This is your Z2. So Z2 is nothing but the, I have written L2. And here the transistor itself work as a one current source. Current source is given by HAP into IB. So why you use current source? Reason is that transient current is required to produce the oscillation. So I use this current source. You can use also voltage source and you can do the analysis. I am showing you what this is your current source. Current source is nothing but how much collector current is flowing. The collector current is IC. You know HAP is nothing but the IC upon IB. So I can write IC is nothing but the HAP into IB. That's why I have written this is your HAP IB. Now in parallel this Z3 is there, means capacitor is there. So this is your equivalent circuit of a Hartley oscillator. This is a equivalent circuit of a Hartley oscillator. Now let us write the equation and of a feedback factor K and AV. AV you know it is nothing but the AI RL upon RI, and feedback factor K is nothing but the feedback voltage upon this your output voltage. So let me again use the same thing. Look here now, this is I am showing you here, it is HI, this is your IC, this is equivalent circuit. Now what is the equation of your voltage gain? It is your AI into RL upon RI. RL is the load resistance across which output voltage developed. So I am writing ZL. ZL upon RI is what? Input resistance HI. Now what is ZL? ZL means what? Look here, voltage is developed, this is your ZL. So I cannot write Z2 only, because with this C is connected, Z1 is there, HI is there in circuit. So I have to simplify for this. For ZL, I will do like this. See, ZL is nothing but I can say it is your, this is your Z2, means this is I am showing you ZL is nothing but this is your Z2. See here Z2. In this your Z3 is in series. Here you can see, yes, Z3 is there, means capacitors. These your inductors. Okay, that is your, we have written L2, yes, L2, and with this is your Z1, that is your L1, and here it is your HIE. Carefully try to understand the way I am drawing the effective load I am showing you here. This is your ZL is nothing but ZL is nothing but you can say load resistance across which output voltage is developed. So here output voltage is developed. So I have to consider this the effective impedance of this or effective ZL of this. So you can say that with this C is connected and Z1 is there, HI is what, all are interconnected. So I have to draw this circuit in this form. So ZL is nothing but the Z2. With this you can say Z3 and Z1 is involved in a parallel combination of this. So I have to connect in this way. Say this is your ground terminal, you can say this is your ground. So this is a terminal number, you can say it is 1, this is your 3, this is your 2 terminal. See, already I have shown. Now, so what is ZL? What you can see ZL? See, ZL is nothing but the Z2 parallel into bracket Z3 plus Z1 parallel HIE. I think you understand. Z2 is parallel with Z3 plus, these are in series, plus Z1 parallel HI. Now let us say Z1 parallel HIE is Z1 dash. So your ZL is nothing but the Z2 parallel Z3 plus Z1 dash. So I can write Z2 into Z3 plus Z1 dash upon Z2 plus Z3 plus Z1 dash. This is your effective load ZL equation. So that is here required. What is current? Current gain is minus HAP and RI is nothing but the HI. So my equation of gain is minus HAP upon HIE multiply ZL. ZL means Z2 into Z3 plus Z1 dash upon Z2 plus Z3 plus Z1 dash. In analysis, what I have to do here I have to find KV is equal to 1. Then I will write 1. And to make this loop gain real, the imaginary part I have to take 0. So that I am doing only. Current is nothing but you can write it is Z1 parallel HI upon current into Z3 plus Z1 parallel HI. Let me explain you. See, voltage is developed between 1 and 3, output voltage. You can see between 1 and 3. So between 1 and 3 voltage is developed. So this current multiplied by Z3 plus Z1 parallel HI. You can say The output voltage is VO is nothing but the voltage between 1 and 3. So it is nothing but the current multiplied by Z3 plus Z1 parallel HI. This is your VF, you know. So what is your VF? Current into Z1 parallel HI. So I think it's very easy to get understanding like this. Now let me write this K is nothing but this is Z1 dash upon Z3 plus Z1 dash, because we have written this Z1 dash, this is your Z1 dash, so I can write K is this. Now let us do the more calculation. KAV is equal to 1. What should I write? KAV is equal to 1. K into AV is 1. Therefore I am writing this is Z1 dash upon Z3 plus Z1 dash multiplied minus HAV upon HI into, you can see yes what you written here. This is your Z2. This is your Z2 into Z3 plus Z1 dash upon Z2 plus Z3 plus Z1 dash. This should be 1. Now you can clearly say that this is cancelled. So I can write minus HAV upon HI into Z1 dash Z2 upon your Z2 plus Z3 plus Z1 dash is equal to 1. So I can write here, look here, Z1 dash Z2 upon your Z2 plus Z3 plus Z1 dash is equal to minus HI upon HAV. Let us put the value of Z1 dash, but Z1 dash is equal to Z1 into HI upon Z1 plus HI. So let me put the value here, Z1 HI upon Z1 plus HI into Z2 upon Z2 plus Z3 plus, what is Z1 dash? Z1 HI upon Z1 plus HI is equal to minus HI upon HAV. So I can write, you can see here this is cancelled. HI is cancelled. So I can write, look here, I can write Z1 into Z2 upon, you take the LCM, Z2 into Z1 plus HI plus Z3, Z1 plus HI plus Z1 HI is equal to minus 1 upon HAV. I think it's very clear. So Z1 Z2 upon Z2 into Z1 plus Z2 HI plus Z3 Z1 plus Z3 HI plus Z1 HI is equal to minus 1 upon HAV. So Z1 Z2 upon, you can see here, Z2 Z1 plus Z3 Z1 plus HI is common, in bracket Z1 plus Z2 plus Z3 is equal to minus 1 upon HAV. So I can write this is nothing but the HFE Z1 Z2 plus Z2 Z1, or you can say Z1 I can take common. It's very nearly you can take the Z1 common. Z1 common. So it is Z2 plus Z3 plus HIE Z1 plus Z2 plus Z3 is equal to 0. See, those who do not understand, I have taken on this side. Then this is I have taken on this side. With minus sign I have shifted here. So I will get this equation. Okay. So now look here. So what is Z1? Z1 you know this is. See your Z1. Z1 is nothing but it is your impedance of the coil. So it is J omega L1 plus M. I have to consider is mutual inductance, because due to mutual induction current is produced across L1. So I am writing J omega L1 plus M. Z2 I am writing J omega into L2 plus M. Remember, we have to consider mutual inductance. So if you are not consider, then what you have to write? J omega L1, J omega L2. But mutual induction should be considered. Now, what is Z3? Z3 is nothing but the minus J upon omega C for capacitor. This is for inductor L1, this is for inductor L2, this is for capacitor C. So by putting this value, I can write HFE. What is Z1? I can write J omega L1 plus M into Z2. What is Z2? J omega into L2 plus M plus what is Z1? Z1 is J omega into bracket Z2. What is Z2? I can write it is your Z1 is J omega. Let me write like this. It is nothing but I am making a simple, it become very easy for the simplification. Let me write here is nothing but this is your Z2 Z1 plus Z3 Z1. So it become very easy for us for simplification. Look here. So HFE J omega L1 plus M, J omega into L2 plus M, Z2. Z2 is what? J omega L2 plus M. What is L1? J omega L1 plus M. What is Z3? Z3 is nothing but I can write it is your minus J by omega C. What should I write? Minus. So here minus I have to put minus J by omega C. What is Z1? J omega L1 plus M plus HIE into bracket J omega L1 plus M plus J omega L2 plus M minus J by omega C is equal to 0. Look here. In this equation, see, I put the value of Z1. So see, Z1 is this. Z2 is J omega L2 plus M. Here I have written Z2, this I have changed. Z2 is what? J omega L2 plus M. Z1 is J omega L1 plus M. Z3 is nothing but the minus J by omega C. Z1 is this plus this HI J omega L1 plus M, J omega L2 plus M minus J by omega C. Now let us simplify. Look here now. This is your j into j square. J square is minus 1. So it is minus HFE into omega square L1 plus M, L1 plus M, L1 plus M into L2 plus M. See here, this J into J square, and you know J square is equal to minus 1 plus. So that's why what I have written this step. J into J square. So it is minus. So I should write it is your minus sign here. J into J, this is your Z2 Z1. So here Z2 is J omega L2 plus. So I can write minus omega square into L2 plus M into L1 plus M. Now J into J square, J into J square minus 1, minus plus. So this omega is cancelled. So L1 plus M upon C. I think you understand. Now see here, J I am taking common for all this. So plus JHIE into omega L1 plus M plus omega L2 plus M minus 1 upon omega C will be 0. Look here, simplification. This up to this is very easy. Now Z1 you have to put J omega L1 plus M, Z2 you have to put J omega L2 plus M, Z3 you have to put minus J by omega. I have kept this value. I have kept this. J square. J square is what? Minus 1. J into J square. So J square is minus I have written. J into J square minus become plus. So I have written J square. So I have written J square minus it become what? Plus. Omega is cancelled, so L1 plus M by C. Here J is taken common. So I'll get this. This is your equation of what? This is your KV. This is your KV. This equation is nothing but the KV. Imaginary part. So for loop gain to be real, imaginary part should be 0. As a result, I can write my imaginary part in above equation is 0. So this term you can say this term omega L2 plus M minus 1 upon omega C is equal to 0. Means this part is 0. Imaginary part. So I can write omega L1 plus M plus omega L2 plus M is equal to 1 upon omega C. Or I can write omega, let me do the more simply. Omega I am taking common. So I can write L1 plus L2 plus 2M is equal to 1 upon omega C. From this I can write omega square is equal to 1 upon C into 1 upon L1 plus L2 plus 2M, where M is a mutual inductance between the two coils. You can write. Now so omega is 1 upon root C into L1 plus L2 plus 2M. So frequency of oscillation in a Hartley oscillator is given by most important equation 1 upon root C into bracket L1 plus L2 plus 2M. So frequency of oscillation is given by this equation. You should remember this equation. This is your frequency of oscillation in a Colpite, in a Hartley oscillator. Sometime in some book they are writing F is equal to 1 upon 2 pi root LC, where L is nothing but the L1 plus L2 plus 2M. If they will not mention this, means they will not consider the mutual inductance. But this is the right equation for a frequency of oscillation. Now, let us see the condition for sustained oscillation. What should be the value of current gain of a transistor? So, see here. This is 0, means what should I write? I have to write this equation. I have to write this equation. This is 0. This part is 0. So, this part is 0. So, this part is 0, means I have to write this equation only. So, look here. I am doing this. This is 0, means what I will do? I have to remove this part. This is 0, means I have to remove this part. Means I will write, from this I will take the omega square common. Okay. From this I will take the omega square common minus. Okay, let me do the later on. So it is minus HFE omega square L1 plus M, it is L2 plus M into minus omega square L2 plus M into L1 plus M plus L1 plus M by C is equal to 0. So I am taking here L1 plus M into L2 plus M. I have taken this is common, these things, and omega square is common. So what is left? 1 plus HFE is equal to L1 plus M by C. I think you understand. This is I have taken, this is I have taken on other side. So it become minus, minus become plus, and then I have taken HFE omega. This term is common. I have taken this is common. This I have taken common. Okay. So this is the equation. Now see here, put in this equation, put omega square is equal to 1 upon C into L1 plus L2 plus 2M in this equation. So I can write here, see this is cancelled here. Okay. So I will get here L2 plus M into omega square is nothing but the 1 upon C into L1 plus L2 plus 2M into 1 plus HFE is equal to 1 upon C. So I can write, look here, I can write, this is your CC is also cancelled. So I can write 1 plus HFE is equal to L1 plus L2 plus 2M upon L2 plus M. So I can write L1 plus M plus L2 plus M upon L2 plus M 1 plus HFE. So I can write here 1 plus HAV is equal to L1 plus M upon L2 plus M plus 1. So I can write HAV should be, minimum value of the HAV should be equal to L1 plus M upon L2 plus M. This is a condition for the oscillator, for the condition for the sustained oscillation. The gain of the current gain of the circuit at least of this much value, or you can say it should be greater or equal to this value. It should be greater or equal to this value. This is a current gain should be greater or equal to L1 plus M upon L2 plus M. Here is the, let us do the some numerical based on Hartley oscillator. We'll do the first numerical based on Hartley oscillator is this. See the question now. In the Hartley oscillator, L2 is given 0.4 millihenry, capacitance is given 0.004 microfarad. If the frequency of oscillation is 120 kilohertz, find the value of L1. They have given neglect the mutual inductance. So you first write the data. I am writing L2 is equal to 0.4 millihenry, C is equal to 0.004 microfarad, and they have given frequency of oscillation is 120 kilohertz. They have given mutual inductance 0. Question, find L1. You know the frequency. Frequency is given by F is equal to 1 upon 2 pi root C into L1 plus L2 plus M. You know this equation. So I can write F is equal to 1 upon 2 pi root C into L1 plus L2. This is nothing but the L1 plus L2 because M is 0. So from this I can write it is nothing but you have to find the value of L1. You put all the value and you have to find the value of L1. This is you have to do in your work. I'll give the quiz questions after your lecture. When I upload your lecture in a Moodle, then this is given in a quiz question. Remember, so you have to solve yourself and you have to post, you have to write the value of L1 here. So calculate yourself, put the value and get your answer. Numerical number 2. In a transistor Hartley oscillator, the two inductance are 2 millihenry and 20 microhenry, while the frequency is to be vary from 950 kilohertz to 2050 kilohertz. Calculate the range over which the capacitor is to be varied. Means here in this numerical they have given the value of L1 and L2, okay, and F1 and F2, and they are asking you what is the maximum minimum range of the capacitance that you vary, so you will get this much variation of the frequency. Look here they have not mentioned the mutual induction. If they have not mentioned, then I will take it 0. So here it is not mentioned, so I will take M is 0 here. So let us write the what are the data they have given. L1 is equal to 2 millihenry. L2 I can write 20 microhenry. F1 is 950 kilohertz, means 950 into 10 raised to 3. F2 is 2050 kilohertz, so I can write it is 2000. It is nothing but the, you can say 2050 into 10 raised to 3 hertz, and they are asking you find maximum frequency, maximum capacitance and minimum capacitance. So you know this equation, F is equal to 1 upon 2 pi root C into L1 plus L2 plus M is 0 plus 2M, M is what? 0 here. This is, here I should write it is a 2M, not M, it is a 2M here. So here M I am not writing. When frequency is minimum, then C is maximum. So C maximum I can write, it is 1 upon 4 pi square F square F1 square, this is minimum, into L1 plus L2. So if I do the F square, then you can get this equation. So this is F1. When this is minimum, then C is maximum. F proportional 1 upon C, you can see here. Now C minimum is nothing but the 1 upon 4 pi square F2 square into L1 plus L2. So you have to calculate yourself, and remember I'll put on a quiz section of a Moodle lecture, I'll put what is the value of C max and C minimum in the numerical number 2. I'll mention like this in a numerical number 2, in numerical number 1. Okay, it's very simple numerical. Now third numerical I am discussing. Third numerical, in a Hartley oscillator, the value of capacitor is 500 pf and inductance of the two coil is 38 microhenry and 12 microhenry. Find the frequency of oscillation and feedback factor K. It's very easy. Answer I should write, it is your answer. F0 equation is 1 upon 2 pi root C into L1 plus L2 plus 2M. Again they will not given, so M is not given, so I am writing 0. So you can find the frequency of oscillations by putting the value of C, L1 and L2. Now feedback factor K, it is nothing but you can say feedback voltage upon VU. So current multiplied by its reactance upon current multiplied by its reactance. So I can write it is K is nothing but the L1 upon L2. So you can find the value of the feedback factor K also. Here I am keeping the end of the lecture of the Hartley oscillator. Next lecture will be on the Colpite oscillator. So solve this numerical yourself and you put the answer on a quiz which I will post on a Moodle.